So we'll go to types of market research. So for the types of market research, we have primary market research and secondary market research. So we start with primary market research. For primary market research, this is research that is done firsthand. You stop writing when I'm talking, please. Stop writing, please. So we call it primary research because this information we're gathering is firsthand. It means you are the one gathering the information. The information is not gathered by or gotten by someone else. You did your research. So we call it first-hand or field research. That means the researcher was there carrying out the research. That's a primary research. Do we get primary research? That's why this implies to first-hand information. It can also be called field research. We call it field research because that individual is out there gathering the information. So first-hand information is primary research. Do we get primary research? So we have different methods of primary research. The first one is questionnaire. When we talk about questionnaire, it means we have a list of questions. Your pen down. We have a list of questions that we need to ask respondents. That is a questionnaire. Do we get a questionnaire here? So we draw up a list of questions that we want to give to respondents. So they have to answer those questions. That is what a questionnaire is. It's a primary market research. Is questionnaire clear here? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Then, what are the qualities of a good questionnaire? Because we are drawing up a list. So, if we want it to be effective, we want a good response from respondents, then we need to give a quality questionnaire. So, what are those features that makes it a quality, or what are those features that make it a quality questionnaire? Number one, it must have a balance of open and closed questions. So, when we talk about open questions, these are questions that allows you to give your opinion about things. It must not always be an open one, but it needs a balance between giving opinion and saying yes or no to the questions. Do we understand? So whenever you are drawing up a questionnaire, you have to think about striking a balance between open and closed questions, so that it will be, so that it becomes interesting for respondents. If not, you're just going to put your list or paper somewhere and they won't answer it. Then it becomes ineffective. 2, it must contain a clear and simple question. Everything must be clear. You have to write it in words that are understandable, specifically in English, not jargons. Write it in words that people would understand, that they don't have to start racking their brains to understand what you are writing. So simply it could be English, because that's general. Do we get it? And it must be clear. That means it must be stated, not making different diversions. It's going to be so boring for respondents and they might not want to answer. The third one, it must not contain a leading question. Don't give questions that the answers are already there. Then there's no point making out or writing out or giving out a questionnaire. So let the questions be questions that are at least trickish a bit, not ones that when they see it, they already know the answers. Do we understand? Do you understand, please? Yeah. And the last one, it must not be too long. People don't have time. They don't have that time. So when you are drawing up a questionnaire, don't let it be too long because nobody has the time to start sitting down and reading all your questions. Everybody has something to do with their time. Do we understand? So it must not be too long because if it is too long, respondents will not respond. They won't even check it. You just throw it somewhere and you won't be able to get the feedback. And the main purpose of the questionnaire is to get the feedback. Yes or no? Yes. So if any of these is not available, then you might not be getting the feedback. Is questionnaire clear?
Yeah.
Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
Then how do we send questionnaires? What are the ways in which we can give out questionnaire? We can do it through postal or online. When we talk about postal, it means we draw up the list and send it randomly to those we think we want them to answer the questions through postal order, through the post. So you mail it to them, and as soon as at their own time they fill the form, they answer the questions and they send it back to the same address. That is postal. Do you understand postal?
Yes.
And the last one is online survey, online. Sometimes you use a WhatsApp call and they ask you, good, very good. Your response was the time rate at which you made the call. So that's the questionnaire. So they want to get the feedback from you, and that is so quick. Do you understand? Or the call you made, was it good, very good? You rate it. Using their social media, they're able to get a question, an answer about their service. Do we understand? So these are all about